In today's video, we're sharing with you the detail of our 2 months in Chiang Mai. Now, if you've watched our previous videos, Chiang Mai is one of our top places in the world, and this year we decided to go back there for 2 months. So 61 days in total, and some really interesting things happened this year compared to last year. But generally, we were hoping.
To be under budget.
Yeah, so if you want to find out if that happened, stick around till the end. I'm Frank.
I'm Kim.
And we're FNT Life. So,
okay, so let's start to go through our numbers. We're going to start with our local transport costs. And for the total of 61 days, we spent £168. That's pretty good, like 80 odd pounds a month. Just to give a couple of costs, it was £10 on average each way to get to the airport and back. Each time we went from Nimman, where we were staying, to the old town, it was £6 for the taxi. And then we had a one-off taxi fare where we did a return trip to a vineyard that we found that was just outside of...
Had to be done.
Yeah, it was just outside of Chiang Mai. So we'll give you the details of that later, but we spent £40 on that particular trip. So.
We should also clarify that all costs are for Grab. Most of it, we use the local sort of equivalent to Uber in Asia, and that was Grab.
Yep.
Another thing I should add to that as well is that we go for comfort Grab. We liked having a bit better, larger, more comfortable car with air conditioning, and we also generally leave a generous tip as well. So those costs include tips and the fact that we've upgraded. A quick tip about Grab is we believe that if you take the comfort and you leave decent tips every single time, they're more likely to select you when you apply for one. We've heard lots of people who were waiting for 10, 20 minutes for a Grab, all that cancelled on them, and that hardly ever happened to us. So, for the extra pound or dollar or two it's going to cost you to do this, it might be worth considering upgrading your experience and
being a good customer.
Being a good customer always helps.
Okay, so that's transportation.
Transportation.
Let's move on to
now,
accommodation.
Our other big item, accommodation. Now, we really care about accommodation, but for some reason, if you watched our previous budget videos, we actually generally managed to be really under budget for those. This time, less so. Now, we said 2 months, and we went back to one of the Airbnbs we had last year, but because it was a different season, and that is more a high season.
Yeah, we should say we were there for December and January.
Indeed, yeah. So the end of November all the way through to mid-January. That was high season. There is a Lantern Festival. It's obviously Christmas and New Year. And because it's winter, the temperatures are actually really pleasant there. So this time, the accommodation we had last year was not available. We had a 1-bedroom apartment last year. This time we had to take a 2-bedroom, 2-bathroom apartment, which was actually
great,
really nice. But, and we should give you the cost for this, the cost was £1,716 for the 2 months, for the 61 days, which is about £858 a day. Or
for a month.
For a month, yeah. Sorry, not a day.
That would be quite a lot.
That would be bad. But still remains under 28, so about £28 a day. So $38 per night. That is pretty good for us, considering we were right in the heart of Nimman, which is our favorite area in Chiang Mai. It's quite trendy. It's got all the restaurants, all the bars that we love. It's fairly walkable. And, once you've been to the old town, from our perspective, and you've seen all the temples, we don't feel the need to walk there every single time. So this is our favorite area, favorite apartment. We should highlight as well, we can list it. It was in the Mirror building, but it's not the most comfortable and it's not high luxury.
It's not perfect, but for what we got, and anywhere you stay over Christmas or New Year, only paying less than £30 a night, it's pretty good.
It was spacious. It even had a balcony, which I think we never stepped on.
Yeah, possibly.
The other flaw possibly with it is because it is in the heart of Nimman, it does get quite noisy.
Yeah.
Some of the bars nearby can go on. They do tend to stop after midnight or 1 a.m., but not every time.
Not every time, but we did manage to, hedge against that by also being out after 12 o'clock, so we missed the noise.
That is a good point. I mean, the few times, yes. Sometimes we never made it back till 5 a.m. So, anyway, so that was our accommodation. We like it. We're likely to try and book it again for next year because, spoiler again, we think we're going to be back.
We're definitely going to be back.
Okay.
December time. Okay, so next we have our groceries for, again, the 2 months. £377 we spent for those, which isn't bad. But to be honest, because it was Thailand, it's so much cheaper to go out and eat. So we basically just had our breakfast items, so like coffee, tea, water, the odd bottle of wine that we would have in, and snacks. So like that was a pretty low cost for us for
the few nights we just wanted to be at home. We couldn't face another night. But in terms of cost, it's very reasonable for groceries. But then let's get on to our eating out budget. Now, if you've ever watched any of our YouTube videos or indeed our budget
or
videos,
you've met us,
if you haven't met us, hello. we have. I was going to say we're very proud to say that our eating out and drinks budget usually dwarfs our accommodation and everything else. Really, it's our largest line item, and this year was no different. Now, you have to bear in mind that this was also Christmas, New Year, so we had a bit of extra, but let's ignore Christmas and New Year for now and talk about specifically eating out. We managed to eat out at very exceptional prices. I mean, our average day out or meal out was around, what, £12 or so? It was about...
Yeah, £12. We went to our favourite place is Jeeb, which is a local Thai restaurant, and we really like their red Thai curry, and to have a bowl of that with rice is like 69 baht or something ridiculous. So we did go there probably like, I don't know if we didn't go every other day. We went 2 or 3 times a week. Because their food was so good and so cheap. It
is fantastic food. And also we should point out that £12, that was us ordering 3-4 main courses. You know, they're not huge, but they're plenty sufficient. I just wanted to try everything. So we did spend more than, if you wanted to eat under $10 and have a full meal, that you would succeed easily. And that included also really nice drinks like a coconut juice or
smoothies. No, it's so good. We love it.
So that was our sort of day-to-day thing. We should also mention on the other days when we didn't fancy going out so far, or certainly not eat so much, then we would get the very famous or infamous 7-Eleven toasties. And those are great. I mean, they just cost a few pence really, and you just, you can have 3 or 4.
Sure, they're really good for you, but they're really easy and very good.
They toast them for you.
Yeah,
you just go there, they just toast everything, give you the food, and you're ready to eat. So if you're on a budget, well, hey, you can't argue with that.
So apart from the Thai meals we had, if we had like a Western meal, if we went for like pizza or Italian, it was more £25 to £30 for both of us to eat at. That was really good.
Yes.
And then if we had a meal and it had some wine in it, it would be more £50. But
which for us is incredibly inexpensive. So our total for eating out for the 2 months was £1,324. which is £660 a month or £22 a day, which is really good.
Which sounds great, but stick around for a bit longer and we can add to that.
It's about to get worse.
So that was a normal eating out. And then drinks as well. So Chiang Mai is somewhere where we really enjoy going out. Our favourite bar, as we've said, is Ostinato, where they have live music. But it doesn't have to be expensive. So the total we had for that was £548 for the 2 months. And we went through our budget sums and we were pretty much out every other night. So for that, it's good. I mean, we were like sharing like bottles of Chang beer. I can't see my T-shirt. But basically, each time we were out, we spent under £20 for a night out, and just enjoying ourselves. And a couple of beers is amazing, really.
Yes, we should clarify that this is a proper night out where we go out from 8 p.m. and come home at midnight, 1 a.m., where we don't cut corners. We have large beers served with ice and maybe a few cocktails as well, which
the old fashioned,
my favorite old fashioned, or sometimes a margarita or a sour in one of the local. Going out for drinks is very affordable, very cheap, and you don't feel like you're forcing yourself to cut down.
We had a good time partying with everyone. It was great.
We should also flag out the local rum or sort of brandy that they have, SangSom, which typically what happens is you just buy a bottle or a half bottle and they keep it for you. So you might have a few sips of this with your beer, and then when you come back the next day, they've got the line with your name on it. They bring you back your bottle, and you can buy one bottle and have it over the course of a week.
Because you've invested in the Scottish half and half.
That's very true. Maybe that's not a common thing. We should explain
Yeah.
it. I find that if I just drink beer, it's too liquid and too light. So even a good beer. So what I like to do is have a whiskey on one hand, and in Scotland it would be like a Scotch whiskey malt on one hand and a pint on the other, and then just sip from one and sip from the other. And that slows me down with the beer, but generally I really like the taste of it.
Yeah, so you replaced some of the Scotch whiskey with SangSom, and was fine.
It was great.
Could do it the Chiang Mai way.
It's perfect, yes.
Okay, so then we have an extra category for this particular budget. So bearing in mind, we were there for Christmas and New Year. It was also Frank's birthday while we were there.
Just the end of birthday month.
And
yes.
for New Year's, we had friends joining us. So
Yes.
we've actually split out a separate category where we've got a celebration meal section. So bear in mind, this was like 8 different occasions that we went out, but we managed to spend a total of £981 just on that, which is a lot and it is extra. But if we average it out for those 8 days, it was £123 for each of those extra special meals. So for Frank, it was like fondue for birthdays, and we had an extra special birthday with Jeanne and Christine.
And extra bubbles. We had like magnums of champagne.
Yeah, we did.
You know.
So that was great. And then obviously Christmas and New Year, you're going to go out. We're not home. On one hand, we don't have to like do all the whole present thing but if we were home, we'd be buying nice wine, good food, and probably spend more money.
Yes, please put in the comment what you spend when you're at home on Christmas, per person or for the night
Is
itself.
it more than £123 per day?
I wonder.
And then the other thing, being us, that we managed to find is, as I mentioned for our transport, there is actually a vineyard just outside of Nimman. We couldn't resist when our friends visited, who also like wine, checking it out and seeing what it was like. So we'll put a link down below, but it was Skugga,
yes. Skugga, we're not sure how to pronounce it, but we should say that was a proper decadent.
It was.
I think we spent, how much did we spend for Skugga?
Let's just say over £200. But we had a tasting menu. So that was all they did there. That's what they offered. They've set it out really nicely. It's like a beautiful building. They really looked after us. They're not actually producing any wine.
I was going to say we tried all their wine, which none of them was produced there because they've only just planted the vines. So maybe in a year or two they will actually have locally produced wines. We'll come back every year to check for sure,
just to make sure.
To be sure. Yeah. So we tried all their wines. We had nice sparkling wine with our friends on a nice balcony.
Yeah.
Overlooking, and it was in a beautiful setting. It's right in the mountains, and it looks gorgeous.
And it's connected to like an Australian producer, so we effectively got to try their wines that they're trying to replicate in Thailand. So for a unique experience, we went and did that. So
overall, we spent more than we would normally spend on food and wine, and considering that we already spend a lot of money on food and wine, that tipped it over.
But we're being honest with everyone. So that was us. That was Christmas and New Year, and we had a great time.
We also started meeting way more people from YouTube, as we discussed in our last YouTube video. So that was a very sociable time for us, which was great. You can tell us now if you think we're going to be on budget or under budget or over budget. Yay. So we overspent on accommodation. We overspent on wine and celebration food.
And we had an extra category on our budget for this one as well.
So this year, because we spent 2 months in Chiang Mai, I wanted to spend a bit of time learning Thai. And specifically, I wanted to learn to write and read Thai. I'm getting there. But as a result, for this year, 2026, we've increased our budget to include an education line item. So this is where our budget will go up in altogether. Our daily budget is normally used to be £94 a day, and now it's going to be £100 a day, which we'll explain a bit clearer later. So education, and we think it's a useful thing. We also want to include a fitness line item when we finally join a gym and get personal trainers. But for now, we started with learning Thai, and that was very intensive. So I should say, first of all, our education budget and spend for the 2 months was £524, which is a lot, 260 pounds a month or so. And that included for me, first of all, buying all the materials that I needed, but also private lessons, an hour and a half, 4 times a week. So that's 6 hours a week. And on top of that, I was trying to do maybe an hour of homework every single day, including the days when I had my class. So
It's a tough language.
it's very hard, but I think I was averaging about 12 hours a week of study. So the average cost, and I have a lovely teacher, was £8 per hour. And as I say, I was doing 6 hours a week. So that's about £48 a week on average. So well worth it for me.
Yep.
And I should say that our education budget, the new line item, is currently about £2,500 or just over £200 a month. We overspent it in this particular, those last 2 months because it was so intensive.
Yeah.
But for now, everything else is calming down. I am continuing my classes remotely, but only once a week, not 4 times a week, and only 1 hour, just as an incentive for me to not lose it. So I still do a little bit of homework, and I have a weekly checkup where my teacher tells me off for, no, you haven't done enough homework, you're forgetting this, So it's really useful. So, and definitely a worthwhile investment. If we do decide to spend money on, say, like Duolingo or other apps that will help us learning, we'll add that to our budget. Or if we decide to learn a new skill.
Yeah, the hobbies or anything else we might take up. So, that's included now. Then the next category we have is personal care, and we spent a total of £186 for this for the 2 months. So this actually included, I managed to get by with not doing my hair, but twice a year I need to get like my highlights done and actually get a cut. So I took the chance to do that in Chiang Mai, and that was more expensive. Ladies' haircuts are always more, but I think mine was about £75, which isn't horrendous. Frank also had a couple of haircuts during that time, and 3 massages.
A lot fewer than usual.
Yeah, exactly. After Vietnam, where you'd managed to get a few done.
Way more, but because I was so busy with my Thai lessons, I actually spent less time, or at least we wanted to balance our budget.
Yeah, and we had a couple of pedicures as well. So, 196
I had
is
beautiful baby feet.
You did, yeah.
I didn't expect it to be, but it was like a 2-hour full-on wraps and scrubs and everything. I would definitely do it again. It was well worth it.
Cool. And then next category?
Our next category is laundry. Well, this is worth including this time because it was so affordable. It was the cheapest we've ever had anywhere.
Which was how much for the 2 months?
For the 2 months, laundry was £16. So that's £8 a month. And I think we did 5 or 6 loads.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
It is ridiculous. On average of £3, so there you go. So there was really no reason to. In fact, it was so convenient because the laundry was downstairs where my Thai class was. So I would just carry the laundry, drop it off, go and do my Thai lesson. The next day I would pick it up on my way out, or 2 days later I would pick up on my way out. It's all folded, beautifully cleaned. So very, very handy and very, very affordable. The idea that we should go and sit in a laundrette for an hour waiting for our laundry doesn't even make sense.
No, that was great. And then our next category is gear. So we spent £120 for the 2 months on this, but this was mainly, very occasionally, we don't really, as we say, do presents, but it was Frank's birthday, and because we go to this music bar, they had an open night, and Frank used to play the guitar and enjoys playing the guitar and singing. So
I just enjoy showing off all the time.
I didn't say that. So for his birthday, I did actually buy him a guitar that he could practice on. Now, ironically, the week that I bought Frank this guitar, they decided they were going to stop doing the open nights. Open mic nights. But we think it was just a coincidence.
Yeah, Kim keeps telling me it was a coincidence. I don't know how much she bribed Ostinato to stop them. We should say that, we don't normally buy things like guitars and presents because we can't carry them with us. But we also know that we're going to go back to Chiang Mai, and we just left it in the bar
for as well. And it might be there when we get back, or it might not, or we might be able to borrow another one. So it was just fun to have it as a hobby for those 2 months.
But not only did they stop the open mic night, literally the day after we were leaving, they were resuming them. So I'm really suspicious.
But yeah, so that was the bulk of the cost, and also just replacing underwear as well, which is always necessary.
Well, yes. Finally, we had our entertainment category. Now, as usual, you know that all our entertainment comes from socializing, seeing friends, and going to our favorite places with good food and good wine. However, this time we also had an extra couple of things. We went to the cinema in Maya Mall. I can't even remember which film we watched. Was it Now You See Me?
Now You See Me,
Yes.
3 or
So
whatever.
we watched the latest Now You See Me, Now You Don't, Keepers with Magic and everything, which was good fun. And also Kim treated herself to a visit to a cat cafe.
Yeah, I thought I'd go and playing with the cats, and that was only like a £5 just to be in there. Although they were too pretty, they weren't like proper mogs. They were like kind of fancy cats, but some of them were cute.
Yeah. So £20 in total for our entertainment, which is literally a drop in the ocean for us.
Yes. Okay, so that was all of our categories. So we're going to flash up our totals on the screen so you can see them all together, and just talk in general for it. So as we said, local transport, we spent 168, accommodation 1,716, and then our total, because we're being honest, for our eating out and our drinking, including our splash out nights, was £3,231, which we know is way more than most people spend. Everyone else's categories are, we spend more on accommodation, but not us. But keeping it real, that's what we spent. And then for like the miscellaneous, the education and gear, etc., £866. So our grand total was
£5,981 for the 61 days, which represents £98 a day. Now, if you paid attention, I said that our budget was £100 a day, so we scraped. Woo!
It's
just under budget. It's £2 every day for 61 days. That's 120 something, 122 pence. That's a big saving. Now, this is the good news, but it's also the bad news, because realistically, all the time we normally spend in Southeast Asia or other, cheaper countries for geo arbitrage, we hope to be well under budget. And if you look at our spending in Vietnam, you'll see that we had succeeded on that one. But this time, not so much. No, we were on budget, really, and it's perfect. And considering the excesses we had, and the fact we were extremely sociable, we had friends visiting, and we loved this happening. So we'd rather be on budget, or indeed over budget, than refrain from this. We're happy, but certainly it tipped our annual, or is certainly starting our New Year budget. We're going to have to catch up a little bit more for the rest of the year.
Yeah, stay tuned for how Mexico went to see if we managed to rein it in.
Did we rein it in for the month we spent in Mexico?
Who knows?
We are now filming this from Mendoza as well, so
so we do know our totals.
There's coming soon. It's coming soon, and there's a lot of pressure for all those Latin American countries to catch up on our budget. So do subscribe. Ring the bell, or click on the bell to get notifications so you don't miss out our future budgets.
Okay, so I think that's everything for Chiang Mai. And again, just to say, we are going to be back in December, and we really hope that we get to meet up with a few of you. We already know some people that are coming back, so that'll be amazing.
It's going to be dangerous.
It is going to be really dangerous. Thanks so much for joining us. Hope to see you in the next one. Please leave us any comments.
Oh yes, how much did you spend? Or check our description for the link to all our favorite places, and we look forward to seeing you in the next video.
Bye.